It's going to offer you consistent cash flow and consistency. So utilizing Coolfront agreements helps keep money coming in throughout the year with the tracking and managing of your agreement customers. You can set up different agreement types, monthly, quarterly, yearly, and with the monthly, you can ensure that every month you'll be getting paid. 80 to 90% stay for life. Once you have an agreements customer, it's likely they will be your customer for life. That means you'll get paid again and again because 80 to 90% of your agreements customers will stick with you for life. 60% buy more. Service agreement customers are much more likely to purchase additional equipment or services from their agreement provider. More face time with your customer means better relationships and more trust. 60% of customers with an agreement buy additional accessories from their existing agreements provider. If you're currently using Coolfront Mobile as well, I suggest turning on the Coolfront Moments add-on. That can be found in the add-ons of your Coolfront and is exactly what I had mentioned. It's an additional product that you're suggesting to your customer. Over time, a single maintenance agreement will be well worth more than $12,000, and building your agreement's customer base makes your business more valuable. If and when you go to sell your business, you have your tangible items, but what really increases your value is your customer base. Having hundreds of frequent flyers is tremendous for your business when it comes time to sell. It is estimated that for every 1,000 agreements, it takes one office member to manage them. So the more agreement customers, the more staff you have to hire. Our program takes the need out of having several staff members to manage it because you really need one person that can manage thousands of agreement customers using Coolfront agreements. Coolfront agreements will not only increase your profits, create a steady cash flow, or reduce stress, but it's designed to eliminate customers from falling through the cracks and canceling their agreement. This program will manage all of your current agreements customers and any future agreementors. Making hundreds or even thousands of phone calls and countless emails to customers reminding them to sign up and schedule is not fun. Trust me or ask your office staff. The system will track and communicate with your customers via customized phone calls and emails, freeing up your office staff. It will also send follow-ups to your customers, thanking them for their business. You can add in a survey or maybe a small coupon in that email as well. It's up to you. Studies have shown that customers want to be reminded since they have a service that they're already paying for, and since more likely than not, they had forgotten about that service. You are in control of the program, and the possibilities are endless. Using Coolfront Mobile will also help sell agreements since on the work order, it shows the agreement savings that the customer could have had by signing up. This way, the technician can mention the potential savings for future work being performed. If your customer schedules a call right on the spot for the next year, you can mark it in your agreements program at that time and also schedule it in Coolfront Mobile. We are working on integrating the two programs as well to streamline your business operations. We hope to have this done in the next coming months. To sign up for Coolfront agreements, you can go to coolfront.com, go to agreements, and then it will ask you to fill out the necessary fields to get your program started. So I recommend doing this after the webinar, but you can do it right now if you want. That would be up to you. Order now. And then it's going to take us to the agreements page. All right. So if you currently have an agreements program, I recommend signing in so you can follow along. So we'll go to login, Coolfront agreements, and then it's going to ask you for your email and password. So the first thing we're going to do in the agreements program, log in. As I mentioned in the top right-hand corner of the page here, Log in, Coolfront Agreements. So once we're in, this is the main screen that you'll see every time you log in to Coolfront Agreements. We'll start out by adding our employees first. This program is for anyone in your company to use, but we did design it with the office staff in mind. You can add in different employees, but we encourage you to only add those who will be actively managing the agreements program. So to add them, we'll go to Settings, Employees, and then we will go to Add Employee. So the different access levels can be seen here on the right-hand side. None. Customer won't be able, their employee won't be able to log in. The technician can only access customers, agreements, and visits. The office has full access except employees, communication settings, and agreement types. And the admin has full access to everything. So what you'll do is you'll fill out the necessary fields. First name, last name, the access level. The cell phone number, recommend putting this in if it's a technician, because I'll show you here on the home page. If the technician calls in on this number here from the field because they just sold an agreement, it will ask them, that number will ask for the technician's cell phone number so they can show up here, sold by, what day, and then they'll ask for the customer phone number. So when the technician comes back at the end of the day with the sheet, they can cross-reference that phone number on the sheet to the number here. You'll edit the customer info, and then you'll add that customer into your program. So next, after you have your employees in, we'll add in the agreement types. So again, Settings, Agreement Types. So if you currently have the program and you have agreements in here, this is where you can check and see what you have. If you're new, you will go to Add Agreement Types, the plus. You can use a custom name or use a preset name that we have. But right now we'll do a custom name. And let's do heating and cooling. And I want to charge monthly, but I'm not quite sure what I want to charge. So we'll use this pricing calculator here. And this says the time it takes to perform a routine maintenance visit. We'll do 40 minutes. We'll hit enter. Your average travel time to a visit, let's say it's about, we'll do 13. And maintenance visits per year, we'll do 2 because we want to come in the fall and we want to come in the spring. So we'll go down here. This gives us the updated price of $15.19. And every active agreement does cost 50 cents a month. So what we recommend is just increasing every agreement you have by $6. So that way it covers the cost of having the program. So we'll do $21 flat out for this agreement. So we'll come back here. $21 per month. We want it to never expire for 2 visits. And we want to check on them in February. And we will be back. I'll do September. So these check boxes mean that this is when the system will reach out, calling and emailing the customer who has this agreement in February and September to try and schedule in their appointment. So we'll hit save. And there it is. Heating and cooling, $21 a month, never expires, 2 visits, February and September. So what we'll do next is we'll go to the company info. So this is your company info. The street, your city, website. This phone number is the number that will show on the phone when you are calling them. So even though it's us who is making the phone call, we have it set to your number that shows up on the caller ID. This email here is the email that will show up for the customer when they see that an email is sent to them from your company. So what we want to do next is the communications. So once you sign up for the agreements program, if you already haven't, this will take a few days for the communications to get in here because we send it out to have a pre-recorded message in here for your company. You can disable them. We don't recommend disabling the communications because that means that the system won't be calling or emailing them. But you can go in here and customize the phone and email messages. I'll show you how to do that. So the scheduling requests, currently this says an email and phone call will be sent to the customers 23 days before maintenance is due to ask them to call and schedule a visit. If the visit remains tentative, Coolfront agreements will make 4 attempts, 1 per week. So customize, and let's change this to 25 days. Oh, sorry. And this is the email. So let's look at the email to make sure it's what we want. Upcoming visit. Let's do for XYZ company. Hello, our records show. And you can change this. This will populate with the location for that specific customer. This is the number that you want them to call. As I said, you can totally customize this, and then you'd hit save. So the custom phone call, if we click this, the pre-recorded message, if you hit listen, it's going to ask you for your phone number so you can call in. So this will call you so you can hear the message. Or you can use a custom message and record that right on your computer. That way they have a friendly voice when the system's reaching out to them. So the visit remains tentative. Let's keep it at 4 attempts, 1 per week. So we'll hit save. We'll go down to the visit reminder. So this is an email and phone call will be sent to the customer 2 days before a scheduled visit to remind them that you are coming. The message will include the date and time of the visit. So we'll go to customize. Again, you can customize the message for both of them. Let's do 4 days before. Custom email, custom phone call. Also include the visit start and end time. Yes, so we'll save. And then we want the thank you email, so we can customize this as well. But this is an email will be sent to the customer 1 day after a visit is completed, thanking them for their business. Again, you can change that, or you can customize it. Here we are, and we hit save. So now if you don't want emails to be sent ever, you just want phone calls, you can come back here to customize and just turn the email off or turn the phone call off. If you do disable communications, if you do turn off the phone calls, or if you turn off the emails, it will still track the customer as long as that agreement is active for the customer. So next we're going to add in some customers. So we'll come over here to add agreement customer. This will track agreement customers, non-agreement customers, residential, commercial, and renewals needed. So we'll go to add. So we'll go first name, Jim. Last name, Smith. Company name, we'll do Corner Market. And the email is the best email that you can contact them on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at home phone, cell phone, and work phone. It's only going to make one call to this phone number. So if you put in a number for all three of these, it's only going to make this phone call for home phone because that's top. If you wanted to call their cell phone, simply just put in the cell phone here. Work phone, same thing. Any customer notes saying rather than use front door, use back door. If they don't want emails or phone calls, uncheck the boxes for this customer and it will still track them. It just won't make the calls and it will remind you that you have to personally call them. But we recommend keeping those boxes checked. Location name, since this was the corner market, we'll do business. Location, commercial. Street, 1, 2, 3, 4 corner. And we are here in Rochester, New York. Who is this agreement sold by? So this is where everyone in your company, all of your employees will show up. So I sold it. The start date, sold it today. Let's start them today. And we want them for that heating and cooling agreement. It's going to populate with that information here. Now you can change it, but we don't recommend that. And then you can put in here any agreement notes. So these agreement notes are specific for the agreement. Even though it's attached to Jim Smith, it's going to those notes will only be shown with this agreement. So we'll hit save. So now we can go in and edit the customer. So this customer will receive emails but not phone calls. I want them to receive both. It's emails, want phone calls. Save. I must have turned that off. But here it shows late February, scheduling request will be sent on February 3rd. Late September, a scheduling request will be sent on September 5th. So you can add in a visit, you can add another agreement to them, you can edit the agreement, or you can edit the address. But let's go check the communication settings because this says no phone calls. So settings, communications, customize. Email and phone call is on. Email will be sent. Just make sure. Email and phone call. And then thank you email. Check. So what we can do now is go to our customers. So these show all the agreement customers, even though Jim Smith and his corner market are a commercial. We'll go to commercial, and here he is right here. So now if we go to our visit schedule, we can now see that Jim and his corner market will be reached out to late February 2017. Now, if you want to add in customers who don't have an agreement, but you're looking to sell them on an agreement, I have to go to Customers, Add a Customer / Agreement. We'll just type in James Peabody, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Gmail, phone number, emails and phone calls, residential. It is going to make sure that you have to select an agreement. So we'll just do that heating and cooling, and we'll do save. But you don't want to get charged for them, so we're going to edit the agreement, and we're going to change them to canceled so that we aren't paying for them in the system. The system won't be reaching out to them to try and schedule them, but their information is still here, so when James actually does buy an agreement, we can just sign him up and add an agreement. It will show you any canceled agreements as well. So if James was currently an agreements customer, but he recently canceled, and then he came back, you can add an agreement right here as well and see what agreement that he had in the past. And again, you're only paying for the agreements customers that are active, and that's 50 cents a month. And you can build in the cost to the agreement, as I mentioned, so you recover the $6 a year for having that active agreement in the program. And if you have a customer who has 2 pieces of equipment that want a tune-up, we recommend combining that into one agreement so that it will reach out at different times of the year to try and schedule them for those pieces of equipment. The program itself is $99 a month as well. We'll go to the visit schedule. So this again is going to show your overdue, your scheduled, tentative, completed. So say Joe called in. We'll go from late February, we'll click on his name, to scheduled. He called in on his own before the system even reached out. So he said February 14th, Valentine's Day. He said at noon, and then our routine checkup is 30 minutes. So from 12 to 12:30, we will hit save. So now Jim knows that we will be coming February 14th, and he will also receive that email reminder 4 days before, along with a thank you follow-up. So what we'll do as well, next we'll go to the Performance tab. So this is going to show your agreement sales for the month, how much your program is worth, what your workload looks like, and what your big sales months are. So this way you can see when you need to start pushing agreements. So here's the sales, big months, workload, and then any completed visits. But there's also a Reports tab that breaks down into more in-depth information if you wanted to. And you can also go to all customers, and you can export that data to send them all an email, but you can also do by who has an agreement and who doesn't. Does your current agreements operation give you statistics that are up to date as well with the breakdown that you need? My guess is no, but this will. Next is the Marketing tab that is specifically here for you to sell more agreements. You can choose as many of these as you would like. You can use a different brochure for every agreement if you want as well. Design them so technicians can hand these out on the job to non-agreement customers to boost your sales. You can even make thank you ones for customers who have been a loyal customer, and maybe even throw in a 10% off coupon as well. So here they are, brochures, pamphlets, commercial, and agreement sign-up forms. So what we'll do is we'll just come up here, technician sell sheet. We'll click on it. It'll download for us. And once this is complete, we'll open it up. We'll come here, and here's the brochure for us. These are just routine ones. You can obviously change them to what you offer, but here's just some ideas. You can change the pictures, and they're totally customizable. These come with the system. These are not an extra fee in addition to the program.
Sure. Are you ready to integrate it right now?
Also, if you have hundreds or too many agreements that you want to manually put into the system, we do integrate the system with QuickBooks Desktop, so we can pull your customer list over. But if you don't use QuickBooks, I can send you over a format to put your customers into that, so we can upload it for you and get the customers in here. And thank you for attending today. That is all for now. I hope I was able to answer the majority of your questions, but if I wasn't able to, I'm happy to discuss anything further. My direct email is nate@coolfront.com, and I'll be in the online chat on our website after this as well. And if I'm not available, you can call our general line at 888-229-4100, and Derek or Judy will be able to assist you as well. Thanks again, and have a great day.